Well, it's a lovely night.
Yeah, no wind, no rain. So calm you could hear mice shag.
I suppose it's perfect weather for the spooky stories then, huh?
They're better than the costumes out last year anyways. The only thing bad about last year is that Pedo Peter ruined it.
How old are you, sweetie? 13, 14?
At least Peter's in Mountjoy now.
I am. Good enough for it. Right, it's about time we started. Right, so, I'll go first. I was going for a walk in Barnet Woods one summer's evening, and all of a sudden I began to hear these screamy, moany yips. I didn't know what was going on, so I made my way on towards the danger to see if I could help out. Once I got to the sea, it was clear the lad was being savaged by a foul creature. Only the young lad's top half was visible. The rest, along with the creature, was obscured by the bushes. I could hear the foul beige grunt as he ripped up the young lad, and I was rooted to the spot with fear. And the next thing I remember, I passed out, waking up about 3 hours later. And there was nothing left of the young lad. Not even blood and gory bits were left behind. And the monster left no trail to follow.
That sounds like two gay lads dogging each other in the bushes.
Yeah, apparently the medical device industry in Galway has an awful problem with their male workers dogging each other in Barnet Woods. But what about the screams?
Well, maybe he just liked it rough.
How would you know that, Father? They tell me everything in confession.
Suppose it's my turn now.
What's this one about?
The boom and the bust.
Christ.
Around 2006, there was a man named John Moore. He was a director in some company based in Longford. Well, one weekend, he decides to attend a dinner party hosted by one of his colleagues, and the party being hosted in one of this man's newly purchased houses. So, he drives into the housing estate where the party is, makes his way inside. Everything seems normal at first, until he starts talking to people, that is. How's it going, John?
How's the crack?
How's the mother doing?
How's many houses, and how much did they cost?
Now, if John was normal, he would have just left, or even went along with it. But no, not John. He was a smart arse.
I'm renting,
was his response. Well, but Jesus, they nearly tore him apart on the spot. And no matter how many times John said house prices would collapse, they wouldn't stop. They chased him into the neighbour's garden, cornered John, tried to climb a ladder over a fence and into a field in order to escape. But he realised too late that it was in fact a property ladder. They beat him black and blue until he agreed to buy 3 houses, and then marched him to the estate agents to do the deed. The crash, and John's real estate portfolio had decreased in value by 600%. He killed himself later that year, dropping a dishwasher into the bath of himself.
Jesus. Oh, feck.
That is awful.
I suppose truth is scarier than fiction.
Oh, I tell you it is.
Then I had the scariest story I've ever heard. I'm afraid now there's nothing scarier than the bust. Oh, but there is. Protestants.
Oh!
Now we all know Protestants are not quite human. Wouldn't you agree, Father?
Most certainly.
And we also know that, among other things, that they have no reflection, that they can't burn, they can't fall asleep, their presence makes babies cry, their women have no menstrual cycle, and they don't actually touch the ground. Instead, they hover about 1 millimetre above it at all times.
I couldn't have said it better myself.
Now what you may not know is that Protestants are also in league with the fairies. This last piece of information is important to my story, as it involves one such instance of a Protestant fairy alliance. The prod in question was a yoke named Liam Fitzdermott, who owned a shop in the village of Ballygluga at around the age of 60,000. 28 in human years. He bewitched and married a Catholic girl named Josephine. Their marriage was, by all accounts, a happy one. Well, about as happy as a relationship where one half's breath smells like sulphur can be. But the marriage needed Liam to live a double life, as by night Liam would slip along the treetops with the fairies, using their magic dust to float around silently and steal knickers out of houses. When Josephine woke up one night to find Liam nowhere in the house, she, suspecting an affair, pretended to fall asleep the next night, and then observed Liam flying out the window with the fairies. But the fairies knew well she was watching, and told Liam to do away with her before sunrise, as their existence would be revealed otherwise. But Liam couldn't bring himself to do it, and pleaded with them to find an alternative that didn't involve his beloved's death. The fairies wouldn't hear any of it, and so they took matters into their own tiny hands, killing Josephine themselves by drawing her down the stairs to make it look like an accident. Liam never flew with the fairies again, and the women and girls of Ballygluga could rest easy, knowing their knickers were safe. That poor old girlie.
You see now, lads, that's the kind of person that turns away from St. Peter's Church. That's more sad than anything else. Not really scary.
Shut up, would ya? Oh, okay, alright. Father, it's your turn now.
I can't really. I haven't prepared anything. I couldn't possibly do it. Sure, just tell us a true story then.
Yeah, Father. Tell us the scariest thing that ever happened to you.
Well, no, I couldn't. Although, there was this one time at seminary.
Go on.
It was a summer's night, and I couldn't fall asleep for the life of me. Certain urges were keeping me awake. Well, at about 3 o'clock in the morning, I decided to go for a number 2, to take my mind off things. But no matter how hard I pushed and squeezed and churned, nothing would come out. It was then I sighed in exhaustion and glanced up into the bathroom mirror. At that point I saw him, standing right beside me. The devil himself. He was red, with pointed ears, horns, sharp fangs, leathery wings folded up to his back, cloven hooves, and a barbed knob that hung down to his knees. He introduced himself.
Hello, I am the devil.
To which I responded by blessing myself. He laughed in my face, and then told me all the horrible things he would do to me.
Then I will fuck you up the arse, good and hard, until your arse bleeds.
Paralysed by fear, I was helpless as he stripped off my clothes and threw me to the ground. On my hands and knees, he spat dirty black spit onto my back door and slowly rubbed his big, limp finger up and down my valley until he reached full mast. From there he burst through my door with his willy. At first I gripped tight in defiance, but soon I found the tearing and shearing sensation unbearable, and then I relaxed. This allowed him to plough into my tract to his fullest extent. I felt a deep pain in my core that grew by the minute as his pace increased exponentially, in and out and in and out. Oh, I moaned and groaned in discomfort, and he grunted in response. By now my own pants serpent had hardened, in protest to my own dismay. Upon realising this, the son of the morning changed his angle, putting a cloven hoof on my head and driving my face into the dirty tiles as he began to thrust downward, making war upon that most sensitive gland to hasten my bodily betrayal of Christ and God. Within minutes I had leaped onto the floor and began to weep. He too finished,
filling me deep inside with his hellish seed, every twitch of his lifting me from my hands and knees. He removed his totem from me, and allowed his blood and excrement-laden sulphurous emission to flow from my ruined veiny crack and onto the tiles like a waterfall of perversion. He circled my left nipple with a long-nailed finger and kissed me tentatively on the back of my neck. Then he disappeared. As I wiped the tears from my eyes, and the last of his discharge evacuated my bloody insides, I felt empty. With all due respect, Father, are you gay?
No.
Everybody hurts sometimes, everybody hurts someday. But everything gonna be alright. Go and raise a glass and say, here's to the ones that we got. Cheers to the wish you were here but you're not. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories of everything we've been through. Toast to the ones here today. Toast to the ones that we lost on the way. 'Cause the drinks bring back all the memories. And the memories bring back, memories bring back.
Yep. Sam,